America watched in horror as an assassination attempt unfolded on its soil. Former President Donald Trump was the target. The attack occurred during a campaign rally in Pennsylvania. The peaceful atmosphere was shattered by gunshots. Panic erupted as attendees scrambled for safety. The assailant, Thomas Matthew Crooks, was on a rooftop. Secret Service agents reacted swiftly. They returned fire, fatally wounding Crooks. Trump was unharmed, but one bystander died and 2 were critically injured. The attack sent shockwaves throughout the country and beyond. The air was thick with fear and uncertainty in the immediate aftermath of the attack. Eyewitnesses described scenes of pandemonium as the sound of gunshots pierced through the crowd's cheers.
"It was like a nightmare," recounted Sarah Jenkins, a Trump supporter attending the rally. "One minute everyone was cheering, the next we were all diving for cover, terrified." Another attendee, John Miller, described the chaos that ensued. People were screaming, running, pushing. It was impossible to tell where the shots were coming from. I just remember thinking I had to get my family out of there.
These harrowing accounts painted a vivid picture of the terror that gripped those present. The attack transformed a routine political rally into a scene of fear and violence, leaving an indelible mark on the psyche of those who witnessed it firsthand. The assassination attempt on former President Trump is a chilling reminder of America's long and troubled history with political violence.
From the assassination of President Abraham Lincoln in 1865 to the attempted assassination of President Ronald Reagan in 1981, the nation has grappled repeatedly with the devastating consequences of extremism and violence targeting its leaders.
The attack on Trump, while shocking in its own right, is tragically not an isolated incident. It is but the latest chapter in a long and disturbing narrative of political violence that has plagued the United States throughout its history.
This history serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of democracy and the constant need for vigilance against forces that seek to undermine it through violence and intimidation.
Section 4. The immediate aftermath. Investigations, reactions, and security concerns. In the hours and days following the attack, the nation grappled with its aftermath. Law enforcement agencies launched a full-scale investigation seeking to uncover the motives behind the attack and determine if Crooks acted alone or as part of a larger conspiracy. The FBI, taking the lead in the investigation, treated the incident as a potential act of domestic terrorism.
Politicians from across the political spectrum condemned the attack, expressing shock and offering condolences to the victims and their families. However, the attack also highlighted the deep political divisions within the country, with some blaming inflammatory rhetoric for inciting violence.
The attack also raised serious concerns about security protocols at political events. The fact that Crooks was able to position himself within range of the former president, despite the presence of Secret Service protection, led to immediate calls for a review and strengthening of security measures. Section 5. A divided nation political climate and the potential for further violence. The attack on former President Trump unfolded against a backdrop of deep political polarization and social unrest in the United States. The rise of social media, often used to spread misinformation and inflammatory rhetoric, has contributed to a climate of anger and division.
This toxic environment, some experts argue, creates fertile ground for extremism and violence. The attack has raised fears that it could inspire copycat attacks, further deepening the divisions within the country. Many worry that the incident could mark a dangerous escalation in political violence, potentially leading to a cycle of retribution and further bloodshed.
The challenge for America now is to find a way to lower the temperature, to bridge the divides that separate its citizens, and to reaffirm its commitment to peaceful dialogue and democratic values. Section 6. A call for unity, moving forward in the face of extremism. The attack on former President Trump reminds us of democracy's fragility and the need for unity. Americans must engage in respectful dialogue and reject violence in political discourse.
We must confront the root causes of political violence, including misinformation and hateful rhetoric. It's time for reflection, healing, and a renewed commitment to democracy and civility.
The path forward is challenging but essential for healing and protecting democracy.